Hello, as you can see by this bunch of recycled cardboard boxes on my table, today we'll have a big review covering different accessories that were released by ddHiFi at the end of the previous and at the beginning of this year. And kind of spoilers, they released a lot of interesting stuff. But probably this time we'll start in the size ascending order, and first we'll talk about some small but still great things like digital to analog converters, cables, adapters, and so on. And we'll save for the last two bigger and most interesting things that they've created. And I promise you that all these gadgets are really interesting. Let's start with these two boxes. I'm still in process of building my speaker setup, so I'm digging a bit into the speakers, power amplifiers and stuff. Maybe later I will start making videos about them, but these two small cables will be interesting not only for the speakers but also for those who listen with headphones. Last year we've seen the return of interest to dual component setup that consists of separate digital to analog converter and headphone amplifier. And in these cases you definitely need a good interconnect cables. And ddHiFi created RC20A. And I have two of them because one is black and other is red. Usually you need two interconnect cables and you need two different colors in order to distinguish left and right channel. Usually R for right, and they have different versions, and actually their setup is created for portable audiophiles first of all, because they offers 20 cm and 40 cm, so cables created to use with devices stacked on top of one of another. And traditional recycled cardboard box, so let's open first one, and here it is. And second one, absolutely the same symmetrical creation. And I like the message on their website who said that RCA cables shouldn't be beautiful, and in my opinion they are. Here I used high quality gold plated copper. Here is the longer 40 cm version, but 20 cm will be this long. Perfect for some stack with digital to analog converter and amplifier. Nice RCA connectors with, you can see that shielding is hidden behind the plastic part, so meaning less dust will get inside. And on the back side they don't have strain relief because cable is connected internally, and that gives a protection from the possible breaking. Of course it's sturdy, it's reliable. Here is the red one, and black one is absolutely the same. In my opinion looks great, feels really solid, and have a pretty reasonable price. $75 for the 20 cm version, or $80 for 20 cm version, and $95 for 40 cm version. In terms of sound, to be honest, I don't have something to compare, and I don't think that short interconnect cables will play a big audible role. I have a pair of DIY interconnects made of really high quality cable. At least they were really expensive to build, and I didn't notice any sound difference between that interconnects and created by ddHiFi, and actually they cost much less than the DIY products. But they look great, and they are really useful, so I am glad that I got them, and I will keep them for future usage. Next gadget is really simple, and it's created purely for the aesthetic pleasure, because it's a pretty regular 3.5mm female to 6.3mm male adapter. or not regular, but nice looking, created by the ddHiFi. Price is $33, and of course it's pretty expensive for things that you're getting for free with many headphones. But let's open the box and you'll see yourself how nice looking it is. It's of course solution for those who have some high-end amplifier and who wants to get adapter that will looks and feels solid with it. You can see here is a pretty big 6.3mm jack, and here is 3.5mm female socket, all metal body, great build quality, and of course connectors are tight, jack is fitting nicely, so just in all aspects it's well working, nicely built thing that looks fancy. Next cable also costs $33, but here you're getting noticeably more complicated device, more sophisticated in both usage scenarios and internal build, and that's MFi06F. It's Lightning to USB A female USB on the go cable. ddHiFi warns everyone that it's not created for the external flash drives and it's not created for external power supply units, but it will allow you to connect digital to analog converters that have USB type A interface. So it opens in a traditional way, and actually here it is. It's short, Teflon reinforced, looks nice, and on one side you're getting Lightning connector connected to your iPhone, iPad or something like that, and on the other end it's female USB type A connector. You plug here some cable that is connected to digital to analog converter, or actually even more logical usage in my opinion, it's with some HiFi digital to analog converters. They often use male type A connectors as an interface for their devices. So but even besides that, it's still pretty useful thing if you want to use your iOS device as a transport. Then comes to Lightning digital to analog converters. TC35i, they had the digital to analog converter with these letters, but now it's 2022 version with a different design. And another one is TC35C, and you can see it also exists in the Type-C version, but I have a Lightning one. So let's start with this. It's price $50. It supports decoding up to 84 kilohertz and 24 bits. It delivers 17 milliwatts for 32 ohms load. So basically it's a simple adapter for those who want something that looks fancy and who wants to listen Apple Music in lossless quality with some wired earphones. In terms of design, of course, it's super fancy, looks great, build of metal, and is pretty attractive. So here is Lightning, you connect it, connect here earphones, and that's it, it's working and you can hear your music. What is good about it, it's really power efficient because it's one of the least consuming battery digital to analog converters that I've tested for Lightning. In terms of sound, it's natural with a slight hint of added weight, but not too much. And of course it's not focused on the micro contrast, it's just kind of good technical and enjoyable tuning. It's on par with other digital to analog converters in this price range. So let's move it aside while I won't drop it few times more, and let's dig into this box. So here a lid fitting tighter, but of course we'll get inside. This one is slightly more advanced in terms of options. It uses Realtek digital to analog converter, and here you can see even the hint that it's better to connect earphones first and then plug it into your iPhone or Android device if you'll get USB Type-C version. And probably it's impossible to open it without damaging the bag, unfortunately. So let's do it in a really rude way. Here it is. It also looks fancy, but slightly bigger. It delivers up to 30 milliwatts of power and supports high resolution, and price is $60, just a bit more, but at the same time it consumes noticeably more power, so it's for those who want to listen to something high resolution with more power and consuming more battery. And it's also neutral with pretty decent resolution, not focused on the micro contrast, and a slight hint of added weight, but just on the mid frequencies, not on the whole sonic spectrum, but also just a little bit, and in general resolving and nice sounding digital to analog converter. And now a really serious digital to analog converter. It's TC44A. As index suggests, it uses 4.4mm balanced output, and it gives up to 60 milliwatts for 32 ohms load, and it uses CS43131 digital to analog converter, supports high resolution 384 kHz 32 bits, and it supports DSD up to 256, so it's one of the most feature-packed and one of the most advanced digital to analog converters in the ddHiFi lineup. Price is $80. It also exists in Lightning and Type-C version, so you can choose the one that you'd like to get. And here it is. Also that label, meaning that now this bag will be devastated. I don't want to do that, but I don't have another choice. So let's rip it off. Probably I should take scissors and do that in a more accurate way, but it's not that important. So as you can see, it's bigger, but still uses a similar blue color, and here is probably the biggest space inside of this shell occupied by the connector itself. So you plug your earphones here, plug it to Lightning, and after a few seconds it starts working. And in terms of sound, of course, it's noticeable upgrade over the previous two. It builds a pretty decent stage. It's natural with a really good resolution, not monitoring, but slightly focused on the micro contrast, created, if you like, spacious, technical and dynamic sound. And definitely it's one of the best digital to analog converters, not only in the ddHiFi's lineup, but in general in this price tier and in terms of sound. So if you like the idea of such dongle, it's definitely a good option to use with iPhone or with 4.4mm, with Type-C version with some modern Android. Of course, it's pretty power consuming, but actually not super power hungry. For example, consuming a bit less power compared with FiO KA3. And actually in terms of sound, KA3 is a bit more weighty and more focused on the macro dynamics, while this one is closer to neutrality and slightly more highlighting small nuances and details. Next will be the most expensive ddHiFi product created so far. It's their flagship earphones cable, BC130A, or it's called Air Nix. So it's from the Air series. They have Cloud, Forest, Sunset, and now it's Nix, named after goddess of night. And it's pretty expensive. Basic version costs $400 because it's a hybrid cable that uses high purity silver strands and silver plated and copper, so really expensive materials, lot of small nuances and details implemented here, and the great attention to all of the nuances in order to create best possible sound. They also have a shorter version. This one is 120 centimeters. They have a 55 centimeter version to use with some Bluetooth receiver, for example, and it costs $250. And they also have short single-ended version for $80. And I thought about making the different video for this cable, but then I decided to include it here to show you that huge variety of ddHiFi products that cover both pretty affordable and top of the line expensive segment. So here is the box. Packaging is traditional for them. Nice recycled cardboard, great care about the environment, and inside you'll get cable itself. Luckily I don't have to tear anything this time. And as a bonus you get their signature earphone storage case with magnet clips. Pretty nice and reliable in terms of storage and with a good user experience. So you open these flips, put earphones inside, and then magnets will do the rest. So nice addition. And here is cable itself. Even by the design you can see that it's definitely something top of the line in terms of sonic performance and other stuff. It exists only in 2-pin version because here ddHiFi used their patent pending connectors with with dual layer shielding. So they have on their website exploded diagram and explanation about that, so links of course will be in the description. If you're interested you can check it out. And it's copper silver alloy pins with gold plate that are gold plated. Connectors made of metal and looks really solid. Then goes ear hooks format, but no memory wire effect here. And here is cable itself. You can see that it's really sophisticated inside, really interesting braiding, unusual color, nice look, great isolation, and it's average in terms of softness and flexibility. It's not that type of super soft cable because it's pretty thick and super reliable, and at the same time not super soft, but comfortable in everyday wearing. Microphonic effect is low with it. As you can see, they've implemented unusual splitter and chin slider, so everything is so well thought for all smallest nuances and details. And after the splitter it goes braided in 4 wires down to the angled Pentacon connector, so 4.4 millimeter, but at the same time it's angled. And I really like it because vast majority of Pentacon jacks are straight and occupy bigger space, and by the levers they offer, they can easily break the connector of your earphones. Oh, sorry, not earphones, of course, of your player. And here is, for example, new Let's Shure earphones. Let me connect them. It's right one, and so probably it's the correct way of connecting. And as usual, I want to say a few words about the cables. I repeat it in every single review, but we'll say it once again. So for me, cables make difference. I did a lot of A/B tests to find that difference definitely exists, but at the same time it's not huge, and with different earphones it offers a different impact. In general, with vast majority of earphones, this cable offers you additional tightness of low frequencies. It makes low frequencies slightly faster, more impactful, less weighty and fat, and at the same time more fast with a slight hint of small nuances and details. I've got this effect with Campfire Audio Andromeda, and I got this effect with Noble Audio Sultan, and actually with Sultan I really like the change that it offers. But at the same time they have different impact on the mids, because with Sultan I've got bigger stage and improvement in dynamics, while with Andromeda, for example, I didn't got any significant changes on the mid frequencies. And I didn't got any changes with treble or something barely audible, but almost no. And that goes against that traditional belief that silver improves treble. In this case it just delivered treble as is, but at the same time making low frequencies more mature, with more refinement and better impact and with better representation of small nuances. I like this effect with orchestral music, for example, with chamber music, with that cases when you have some well-recorded instruments with a lot of small nuances and overtones. So if you're looking for really expensive top-of-the-line cable for some top-of-the-line earphones, AirNix is a really decent option, both in terms of build quality and sound. And one of the most useful gadgets of this review, it's outdoor carry case C2022 that ddHiFi created with audiophiles in mind. And in few months we'll get warmer weather, we'll get waking nature. Spring actually by calendar will start in few weeks already, but of course weather will change a bit later. Hopefully by that time quarantine will be end, or at least soften, and also hopefully by that time war won't start, so we'll have a time to enjoy some walks and admire that waking nature. And of course what walk can be without your favorite FiOS M17. And for this scenario C2022 is a really good fitting gadget. Price is $50, which is pretty affordable in my opinion. It came in cardboard box that was damaged by elephant that is living somewhere in our post office, probably, because all boxes they deliver looks like someone tried to rape them. And here it is. Looks fancy, made of really high quality nylon. Of course stitching and all stitching is great, as well as build quality. Here used high quality YKK zippers, and of course ddHiFi thought about durability, so here is calf hide bottom, and also they added a few good and useful pockets. So front one with two velcro stripes is the one that you'll probably use to carry your player. Of course M17 doesn't fit well here because it's taller than it should be for this pocket, but at least you can carry it this way. Not the most convenient option, but at least useful. But smaller players will go here with ease, and also you get the quick access to this section. And on the back side you'll get the similar pocket. Here you can store power bank or some good everyday care gear that you'll need on your daily walk. So something like that, and for example something like that. Actually like this, not that, this. So it goes here, or power bank or something like that. And luckily they created this middle part. It's pretty big, and here you can store something that requires additional protection, for example smartphone or just FiO M17. So let's put it back and let's put it inside. Oh, of course, before putting it inside, let's remove the shoulder bag. And actually here it fits pretty well, and thanks to double zippers you can close this pocket, and actually here it is. And you have additional pocket to carry some additional gear with you, your ID card, wallet, and so on. And also you'll get a small pocket to carry some really useful and necessary stuff inside. It's hard to get access, but actually it's thief, adding a bit of thief proof here. You can store here some coins or something like that. And as you can see, nice, convenient. Actually now it's pretty heavy, but luckily there is a shoulder strap. You can connect it with two carbines and carry it over your shoulder in a pretty convenient way. But ddHiFi also added additional connection options, so you can attach it to your backpack, for example, using some carbine. You can add some carbines here and there to attach some small things here, for example. You can use some third-party strap for hand carrying. You can attach some strap and carry it on top of your waist, so a lot of different options in terms of extensibility for this small bag. So pretty big, pretty convenient, and with a lot of storage options. It's ddHiFi C2022. As you can see, ddHiFi created a lot of interesting gadgets in different areas, and I'm waiting with impatience to see what else they can offer. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and of course have a nice day.